Hello, Rolka here. In today's video, I wanted to talk about hypothetical monoelemental teams. Imagine you had to create parties to tackle on certain enemies that only had one weakness, and were resistant to the others. Some teams have more options, while others don't have many synergies. So, let's see what kind of teams we could come up with for each element. As I've just mentioned, some elements don't have as many options for a team like this, so I wanted to have a basic structure of one DPS, a couple of supports, and a healer shielder. Alright, now that we're on the same page, let's go over each element and talk a bit about what characters I would personally pick for a mono-elemental team. Starting off with physical, my choice of DPS would be Agenti, who thrives in AoE scenarios. His ultimate can be used at 90 energy for quick access or 180 energy for even more damage and additional bounces. With his talent generating energy and stacking crit rate, Agenti becomes more effective the longer the battle lasts. He's a simple but strong damage dealer, doing massive damage and toughness breaks with ease. Next up, probably an obvious choice, I would go with Robin. She's a top tier Harmony support who provides exceptional team-wide buffs and significant personal damage through her ultimate. Her ultimate instantly grants all allies an additional action while entering the Concerto state, where Robin deals high physical damage on every ally attack, including follow-ups, with fixed crit stats. Robin usually thrives in follow-up centric teams, but is equally effective in general setups, often rivaling other Harmonies depending on the content. With straightforward stat requirements and flexible team compatibility, Robin has always stood out, being one of Honkai's most valuable characters in both specialized and general scenarios. This is where the team starts falling apart a bit. Even though Hanya is a decent character, she doesn't bring that much to this team. She's a unique Harmony support who buffs allies by applying the burden effect on enemies, enabling teammates to gain increased damage percent and restore skill points by attacking the affected enemy. Despite her versatility and SP utility, she is outclassed by other amplifiers due to stronger buffs that align better with team needs. And for the healing slot, Natasha. She's a free healer specializing in single target healing over time with her skill, and AoE healing with her low cost ultimate, making her a good early game sustain option. However, her reliance on SP and limited tools for mitigating high incoming damage leave her struggling in endgame scenarios compared to newer sustain units. Moving on to fire, we have one of the contenders for best teams in mono-elemental scenarios. Starting off with Firefly. She's a powerful break-focused unit with synergistic kit that excels in quickly breaking enemies and dealing super break damage. Her ultimate grants a 100% action advance, increased speed, damage reduction, and weakness break efficiency, while her enhanced skill applies fire weakness and heals her. For supporting options, this team has access to Fugue, who's a powerful break support unit focused on applying exo toughness, allowing enemies to be broken a second time before recovering. Her talent enables super break damage against weakness broken enemies, while her skill buffs allies to reduce enemy toughness and apply defense debuffs. For sustain options we have Linksha, a powerful unit with exceptional offensive and defensive capabilities, fitting into both break and follow-up archetypes. Her summoned entity, Fuyuan, provides AoE attacks, healing, cleansing, and toughness damage, while also acting independently of Linksha, ensuring consistency even during crowd control. This is where Fire struggles a bit to round up the team, which is why there's basically two options left, one being Jiaochu, a versatile support character who excels at applying debuffs, which increases damage vulnerability and provides a steady fire dot to enemies. His ultimate creates a zone that amplifies his debuffs and applies them to enemies entering the field, allowing for continuous debuff uptime. While he offers solid performance in most team compositions, his synergy with break effect teams is weak, as his abilities don't cater to this mechanic. So, the other option would be Gallagher, one of the most versatile 4-stars. He's a healer who excels in both sustain and offensive roles, offering strong debuff synergy through his Besotted debuff, which heals allies when attacking affected enemies. With his ultimate's added toughness damage and the healing bonus from his talent, Gallagher can deliver impressive team support while contributing to the team's offensive power. Alright, we're moving on to Ice. We're starting the Ice team with Big Herta herself. She's an incredibly powerful damage dealer with a stacking damage multiplier mechanic, which can lead to some of the highest damage numbers in the game, especially when paired with erudition characters. Her enhanced skill, combined with her talent, allows her to inflict massive damage through the interpretation stacks, which can reach up to 672% bonus damage with proper team synergy. Same as the physical team, Ice has access to one of the most universal support units in the game. Ruan Mei is a versatile support character who excels in break teams by boosting the entire team's damage, break efficiency, and granting respawn through her skill and ultimate. Her talent provides a permanent speed boost and bonus break damage whenever allies trigger a break, significantly enhancing her contribution to the team. Despite her specific focus on break teams, her universal buffs make her viable in other teams' archetypes as well. Thanks to the 3.0 update, Ice also has access to the Remembrance Trailblazer, who introduces a new supportive archetype with a summoned Memo sprite, in this case Mem, that boosts allies' crit damage and performs AoE attacks until fully charged. At full charge, Mem action advances an ally, granting a 3-turn buff that multiplies their final damage with additional true damage, amplifying all types of damage output. In the sustain department, Ice doesn't have many options, which is why I chose Gepard. He's a durable preservation sustain unit who excels at protecting his team with powerful unconditional shields from his ultimate and has a unique self-revive passive that restores his energy when triggered. His shields are highly valued for mitigating massive damage, making him one of the few units capable of preventing party-wide one-shots. Despite newer sustain unit competition, Gepard remains a reliable and accessible tank, outperforming free alternatives when built properly. Moving on to Lightning. This element was kind of tricky. It has two of the strongest damage dealers in the game, but since I had to take into account synergies within the element, for Lightning I chose Aglaia. She's a high energy, crit focused Remembrance DPS character who uses her summon, Garment Maker, to deal massive damage through rapid and synergistic attacks. Her kit revolves around her 350 energy ultimate, which significantly boosts her speed, damage and attack rate, making her devastating during its duration but reliant on team support for energy regeneration to maintain momentum. Support wise, Lightning only really has one option, that one being Tingyun, an exceptional 4-star support character who excels at boosting an ally's attack and damage while also restoring a significant amount of energy with her ultimate. Her skill provides a unique buff, increasing an ally's attack and granting additional lightning damage. Same as the physical team, this is where this element starts falling apart a bit, as Lightning doesn't have many options to form a well-rounded team, which is why I decided to go with Serval, a free 4-star erudition unit who excels at applying shock to enemies and dealing additional lightning damage to all shocked foes. Serval is heavily reliant on Eidolons, with E4 drastically improving her ability to apply shock and streamline her gameplay, making her endgame viability without them a challenge. For sustains, Lightning has Bailu, a healing sustain unit in the Path of Abundance, focusing on reactive healing through her Invigoration buff and an ultimate that provides emergency healing and damage reduction. Her unique one-time ally revive passive and healing make her effective for early and mid-game content, though her lack of debuff cleansing limits her versatility compared to other sustain options. Next up is Wind. Wind has many DPS units such as Blade or Feishao, but seeing how strong and universal an Axa is, I chose him for this team. He's a versatile erudition character excelling in weakness implant, making him effective as both a main DPS and sub DPS with high personal damage and exceptional energy economy. Despite being designed as a sub DPS, his ability to implant weaknesses and bolster his damage output makes him viable as a hyper carry in specific scenarios. Wind has access to Bronya, one of the strongest characters this game has seen. She's a powerful Harmony support who excels in boosting hypercarry DPSs by advancing a single ally's turn and providing significant damage boosts. Her skill can advance a teammate's action by 100%, dispel debuffs and increase their damage percent up to a 66%. Her talent allows her to adjust her own turn order by using basic attack, which is essential for keeping her and the DPS in sync. Though she faces competition from other hypercarry supports, Bronya still remains highly effective to this day. Even though Black Swan is probably the least synergistic unit of the team, she can still bring some utility with her kit through the Arcana debuff, which deals wind dot damage and can be spread to adjacent targets, ignoring enemy defense at higher stacks. The last slot in this team is Huoho, a powerful healer who excels in both sustaining her team and providing useful buffs. Her skill heals multiple allies while removing debuffs, and her talent adds passive healing and cleansing during allies' turns or ultimates, making her great against debuff heavy enemies. Her ultimate boosts allies' attacks by 40% for 2 turns and restores 20% of their max energy, offering additional support beyond healing, though it has a high energy cost. With abilities that improve her healing, resistance to crowd control, and energy regeneration, she works especially well in teams needing extra energy for their rotations. Moving on to Quantum, this was an interesting one, as the element has access to 2 of the strongest characters at the moment, one being Castoris and the other being Trivi, which we will talk about later. Castoris is a powerful remembrance DPS character who scales with HP and uses a unique charge system to fuel her ultimate, rather than consuming energy. She deals massive damage by draining HP from allies, with her ultimate summoning a dragon, Netherwing, that boosts her damage and provides team utility, including damage redirection and healing. Castoris' kit includes an emergency global revive passive, allowing an ally to survive a fatal blow. Despite requiring careful team composition, Castoris is a versatile and devastating damage dealer. As I mentioned earlier, next up we got Trivi, a powerful HP scaling harmony character that excels at both support and AoE damage dealing, providing all-type res, pen and damage vulnerability, and benefiting teams focused on AoE attacks or follow-up attacks. Her ultimate boosts damage taken by enemies and triggers additional damage whenever allies attack, making her particularly potent in AoE heavy compositions. It's because of these two that Quantum is incredibly strong at the moment, as they synergize exceptionally well with each other and can function in basically any content. I chose Jade as she can target either Castoris or Trivi to help her trigger her passive for constant follow-up attacks. She's a powerful AoE erudition character with a unique focus on follow-up damage and buffing, particularly excelling in pure fiction content where enemies are plentiful. Her Depth Collector buff increases an ally's speed and adds quantum damage based on Jade's attack, while also draining a small portion of the ally's HP. For sustains, Quantum does have a few options, but I chose Fushuan, who is a powerful defensive support character who provides team-wide damage reduction, damage redirection and crowd control immunity through her talent and skill, making her an invaluable asset in many scenarios. We are finally on the last element, Imaginary. This element has also access to a few very strong damage dealers like Danheng, Imbibitor Lune or Rappa. But as they are very reliant on certain harmony units, I decided to go with Midei. He's an HP scaling destruction DPS with a powerful and self-sufficient kit, becoming nearly unkillable in his Vendetta state, where he gains massive boosts to his max HP but sets his defense to 0. He benefits greatly from teammates who provide general buffs, and his extreme self-sufficiency allows him to be part of a flexible team composition. Similar to Physical, Ice and Quantum, Imaginary has access to another strong universal support in the form of Sunday, a powerful harmony unit who excels in providing 100% action advance to a selected ally under summon, making him invaluable for both summoner and traditional DPS characters. Sunday's SP neutral design, along with his ability to cleanse debuffs and speed up ultimate recharge, give him remarkable flexibility and synergy with many characters, particularly those reliant on summons. In a similar way that Castoris benefits from Trivi's buffs, Midei thrives with Sunday in this mono team, enhancing his damage potential. For the third slot in this team, I went with March 7, Hunt Edition. She is a highly versatile and powerful free unit, excelling as both a crit carry support and a super breaker. Her skill boosts an ally's speed and provides damage enhancement based on the ally's paths, usually allowing for flexible team compositions. Luocha is also a no-brainer for this team. He is an SP-positive Abundant Sustain unit known for his consistent healing through his Abyss Flower field and emergency healing via his skill. His ultimate provides both damage and buff dispelling, while his talent allows him to maintain Abyss Flower almost indefinitely, ensuring constant healing. He has excellent synergy with Midei as his healing and support capabilities complement him well, enhancing overall team sustainability. So, which mono element was your favorite? If we're talking raw damage, Quantum probably comes out on top, thanks to Castoris. But if we're going for overall synergy, I think my pick would be Imaginary or Fire, as all the characters can actually work together. Of course, every team has its own strengths and weaknesses, and in Star Rail, synergy beats raw power. This was quite fun to make, and who knows, maybe in a year time I come back to this idea to see how the game's changed. Let me know in the comments if you agree with these picks, and let me know if you'd like to see more content like this. Thanks for watching.